Big controversy is brewing in Atlanta over Mayor Kasim Reed's decision to fire the city's fire chief over a book the chief wrote condemning homosexuality. Now, according to a just-released internal report, former fire chief Kelvin Cochran did not get proper approval from the city's Board of Ethics to publish and distribute the book called Who Told You That You Were Naked, a line from the book of Genesis. Now, in the book, Cochran describes homosexuality as, quote, vile, vulgar, and inappropriate. The former fire chief says he did get permission to publish the book and claims in a statement that he was fired, quote, for no reason other than my Christian faith. Many Christian groups are coming to Cochran's support, claiming his dismissal was a violation of freedom of speech and freedom of religion. This week, hundreds of his supporters rallied at the Georgia State Capitol, then marched to the mayor's office demanding Cochran be reinstated. And joining me now is the mayor of Atlanta, Kasim Reed. Mayor, thank you so much for your time.
Good morning, Tim, and thank you for having me.
Let me first just start off with whether or not the fire chief got permission to publish this book. I know that that is a key point for you and the city council.
He absolutely did not. I'm the chief executive officer of the city of Atlanta. What's undisputed is that he never discussed this book with me prior to publishing it, nor did he get my permission. He didn't get the permission from the ethics officer, and he didn't get permission from the ethics board. So this is a situation that was so serious that he picked up the phone, had multiple conversations with the ethics officer, but he's a member of my cabinet and my senior team, and never discussed it with me. And that's one of the primary reasons that I made the decision to separate him from the city of Atlanta.
You know, obviously from his supporters, and you were there as they wanted to confront you about this, they see this as an issue of freedom of religion for him, despite what many would see as offensive words. He says this was his belief, this is his belief as a Christian, and this is essentially him being punished for that.
Yeah, but Tamron, you have beliefs, but if you were to write a book that you knew was going to be controversial, you check in with the leadership at NBC. And so the bottom line is that he didn't do that. And then during the investigative period, he continued to talk after we said that during the investigation, we all needed to remain silent. And so the fact of the matter is this is all about his judgment. There was an editorial in the New York Times this week that really laid this out simply. He didn't get the permission that was needed. He didn't discuss it with me. And I hired him at the end of the day to put out and prevent fires, not to be at the center of one. And the fact that I'm on your show right now is precisely the reason that we require people to get permission before publishing books. He identified himself as a fire chief for the city of Atlanta, and in the past, he has disciplined other members of his staff for support of Chick-fil-A during a controversy in Georgia, and he suspended them for a 30-day period of time. So I think as the facts are known, people will see that this was a very clear decision, and most of the folks who were at that rally who have signed the petition, who have tweeted me or emailed me, don't live in the state of Georgia. I would put that number at somewhere 90% of these folks who've been making the most noise don't even live in the city of Atlanta.
But to that point, many of them say this is larger than the city of Atlanta. They see it as freedom of religion. Franklin Graham, for example, president and CEO of the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association, said because of something that he published for his Bible study, he's being persecuted for what I believe is religious views, and this should not be tolerated. We need to come together and support men like this. Before you respond, we just got in a new soundbite from the former fire chief, Mr. Cochran. Let me play what he said.
I believe and know with all my heart that my termination was unjust. I received permission to write the book from the ethics director, and there is evidence that there is no hate or act of discrimination against any member from the LGBT community at large or members of the Atlanta Fire and Rescue Department.
So the Firefighters Union has praised you for your decision. Is this the final decision here? Is there room for change here?
There absolutely is no room. I've made my decision. I'm going to stick with it. He definitely did not get permission from me. He's created this controversy. And the other thing is, while I certainly respect Mr. Graham, what he doesn't talk about is the support that he's received from people like Ralph Reed or people like Tony Perkins. This has become more, in my mind, of a political matter than it is a matter of faith. He was not terminated because of his faith. He was terminated because he did not get appropriate approvals, and he's a member of my cabinet who serves at the pleasure of the mayor. And so I made the decision that because of his poor decision making and because of the way that he behaved during his suspension, that I didn't want him to continue as a member of my senior leadership team, representing my administration in a city that is so diverse and that is the home of Dr. Martin Luther King.
Mayor Kasim Reed, thank you so much for your time today. I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Tamara.
Certainly, thank you.